I'm a monster.
Yo, what up? What's up, y'all? I'm doing this just kind of off the fly. Spirit moved me, and so I just wanted to holler at y'all real quick. Coming off of a phenomenal vacation in the Bahamas. I know y'all seen a couple clips. I'm just uploading clips, just to illustrate the time and reflective, and you get a reset and you start from zero and all that kind of stuff. But there's been a big theme going on personally in life, and me going away kind of helped me kind of reset, get back on ground, get back on my own tip a little bit. Because what happens is when you do right, and you just kind of you try and stay aligned with the good spirits and the good thought process. Oh, first of all, I wish I was trying to get my camera. I know it's looking back kind of backwards, but in case you can't read it, it's the today I honor, especially with the 4th of July coming up, America's 250 and all that kind of stuff, which I'm doing a whole nother post on tomorrow, honoring the true people who got us here. I'm honoring Coach Chuck Wilder. For y'all that know, you know who the king is, who the God is. So I'm honoring Coach Chuck Wilder because he's one of the many men responsible for truly getting us here, not the people running this propaganda on this bullshit. And I'm sorry if I offend a couple of y'all, because I know where we all sway and all that kind of stuff, but that's not even a partisan thing. That's just a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's full of shit, but good night. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's for a whole nother post for a whole nother day. And it's not even a dissing post. It's just more of a reflective post, kind of like this tone. But in the spirit of this tone, I just want to say this, because they all kind of have relation to each other in this standpoint. I want to say this. Do right by those that have always done right by you. I'm going to repeat. Do right by those that have always done right by you. I cannot emphasize that enough. Y'all see me switching my hands and stuff. I was looking for my selfie and trying to get my selfie to work, but it's not working quite the way I wanted to, and I kind of wanted to catch this daylight while we still have this beautiful sunset. And as you know, with me being chocolate, what's up now? How y'all doing? With me being chocolate, I need to take advantage of as much light as I possibly can to capture all this gloriousness and chuckness and Zoporianness and all those kinds of things. But back to the lecture at hand. Always do right by those who've done right by you. And I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit. And I'm going to try and keep this concise, but you know me, I can be a little long-winded. And if I am, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But, there's been a few situations. But one situation in particular has kind of disturbed me over these last couple months. And it's a personal situation. I ain't going to name no names. I ain't going to even really kind of name the scenario. Not yet, unless I feel like I have to in forward posts or in the future. But there's this scenario, right, where I've been dealing with a certain entity, a certain party, a certain individual for like 4 years now. Done phenomenal shit. Phenomenal. Like, words cannot express how grateful I am to have been able to watch the evolution and the growth. I already liked the work that this person did upon us meeting, upon us collaborating, working together, and blending our talents together. I already was a fan, just off the rip. But just to see the attention to detail that he had, the growth that he embodied during the whole time that we worked together, it was an honor, man. And, in that relationship, obviously what I tried to do, given the fact that I've been on Earth longer, right, I try and impart, especially somebody like that's on their grind, right, honed in on what they want to do, out here making waves, making moves. I try and recognize greatness no matter where that person is in life, right? You don't have to be Kendrick for me to recognize how great you are if you're great. You know what I mean? Like, I've told him this over the years and years. I'm bringing up somebody else. This isn't who I'm talking about, but I'm just bringing up an example. Eloke, that's what we call him in the music world. Aaron DeCourcy. He know who he is. Y'all know who Aaron is from the neighborhood and all that us that went to center and all that kind of stuff. Aaron is one of my favorite producers on the history of the planet. Aaron ain't, he's not Hit Boy, name-wise, right? He's not Soundwave. He's not Dr. Dre. He's not DJ Quick, Rick Rock, right? Timberland, DJ Premier, I can go on and on with, great producers that I love and admire and who I hold to a really high standard, right? Pharrell, No ID, Knots, hell, even Kanye, even with all the bullshit, got to throw him in there. All these producers that I hold at a phenomenally high standard, I put Eloke in that same category. He's one of my favorite producers ever, right? It doesn't matter where he is. It doesn't matter his status. Just because he may not have reached those heights that these other people I've named doesn't mean that he's not every bit as talented, doesn't mean that he's not every bit as, anytime me and Eloke have communicated, I've told him, anytime you want to come back in the fold, and I've gotten really good. You know what I'm saying? Ant Wild got some producing chops right now. Like, your boy is good. You know what I'm saying? I put Eloke up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter where he's at. Hell, shout out to Shorty Got Beats, right? That's the old 3 a.m. days. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff I learned in that, and us, going through and producing the album and realizing just because you didn't play instruments on the album, it doesn't mean you didn't produce it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm mentioning these kind of people to be like, real recognize real, game recognize game. You know what I mean? So just because you aren't at a certain level of somebody else doesn't mean that I'm not going to recognize your greatness. And that's just about the person who I'm talking about, right? He's grown and ascended and doing his thing and all that kind of stuff. But I always recognize his greatness regardless, because I'm good like that. I can see, I can witness. Oh man, okay, tighten up in these areas. Cat can be really, really good. And so I was always honored in that, right? Because I carry myself with honor. You see what shirt I'm wearing? In honor of Coach Chuck Wilder. Everybody who knows who Chuck Wilder is, hey man, you can't be a descendant of his. You can't grow up under his tutelage, right? You can't be an offspring of his. You can't wear his bloodline and not operate with a sense of righteousness, fool. That's against code. That's against the law. The laws of the world, the laws of the universe, the laws of physics, the laws of anything that you can imagine. That's blasphemy to the God, right? So it's only fitting that I'm wearing this dang shirt in regards to this post. But back to the original point, I mentioned all this to say, never do wrong by anyone, regardless of what level that they're at, regardless of where you may see them at, regardless of how you may feel about them, regardless if they're not at this status, so you don't feel like they matter as somebody else's, somebody else who does have a higher name or something like that. Whatever you're feeling, never do wrong by those who've done nothing but right by you. And not only right by you, but right by anybody that you've been around and have seen him be around with, he or she. I'm just using him in this example because that him is me. You know what I'm saying? Like, never do wrong by anybody who's done nothing but right by you. Not only in how they've dealt with you directly, how you feel they deal with people, how they carry themselves, the righteousness, the honor, don't owe you no money, have always been straight up, recognized, no matter how good of a relationship you guys had together, always recognize the power of your gifts, never tried to get over on you, never tried to scheme you, never tried to take advantage of anything business-wise, no matter how cool personally you guys became. Never sacrifice no professional integrity. That's righteous. Ain't never been nothing but righteous. And, you know, it effed me up for a minute because, you know, this particular entity, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, fell off the face of the planet. Just stopped hollering back at your boy, right? Just completely stopped. Like, no nothing. I'd have to do all these things just to get a response. And then even in the responses, it's like just come holler at me. You know what I mean? Like, I deserve more than that based on just my existence in your life. You know what I'm saying? Never try to do nothing but give you game. Going back to that point earlier. Anytime I had game to give, I try to give you nothing but game. As a peer, yes, I've been alive longer than you, but I'm giving it to you as a peer. I'm giving it to you like, man, when I was your age, you know how much I would have benefited by somebody who was, you know, in the stage of life that I am now, being able to talk to you, still in the level of where you're at mentally, recognizing where you are in life. When I was 27, shit, 37. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had somebody who could reach back and be like, yo, this is what it is. Because, you know, we had great teachers, we had great mentors, we had great examples, i.e. Chuck, right? And there's a list of names from the neighborhood, and everybody watching this from SAC and North Highlands, y'all all know who it is. The list is long, and I'm going to get sentimental naming the list and start tearing up and all kinds of shit, because that's how much that list means to me, men and females, right? But it's like, you know, we had great mentors and teachers, but, you know, they were from a different school, they were from a different era. So, you know, we're able to talk back to people our age when we were 27 in a different way than they talked to us in a lot of ways. They gave us the game. They actually talked to us the same in a lot of ways, but the terminology was different. So sometimes we probably tuned it out more than we should have. Errors on us. That's on us, right? It's nobody's fault but ours. But, you know, we're able to talk to them in a way that they fully understand. We are the first place in this area where we listen to the same music. There could be 10, 15, 20 years difference, and y'all are listening to the same music. You know what I mean? My dad loved hip hop. He loved the music because the music drew inspiration and sampled from, you know, the music they were listening to, but he wasn't about all that cussing and all that, you know what I'm saying? All that NWA and all that. He wasn't about all that Too Short, all that E40, all that Ghetto Boys, you know, a little more tolerant of Public Enemy because they didn't cuss as much. You know what I mean? But, you know, we listening to the same thing. So I'm saying we talking the same way. And every single point where you witnessed me, I've done nothing but give game, right? Done nothing but be righteous in every facet of life. And it gets discouraging when you do right and you don't get that energy back, right? That's very discouraging. So that took a toll on me, along with other life things. But when you tie all these life things together, they can kind of take a toll on you. Because it's like, dude, hey man, I'm just trying to get stuff done. I'm operating in the same righteous space I've always operated in. And then it's the lack of communication. It's the no get back. And then they just mess around and block you as you are like a whole issue. You know what I mean? Like they mess around and block you. And it's like, come on, man. But then you're able to take a step back. You're able to be righteous because, see, for somebody like me, I know that y'all can probably relate to this, those that can. Somebody like me, that's foreign to a real one. You know, we always talk about real ones, but you know, I'm a real one. I ain't the only one by any means. There's a lot of people that are, but there are way more that are not. And a lot of people who are and that you think are turn out not to be. And sometimes it takes a longer time to reveal that. And that can be very disappointing. And the disappointing part is it doesn't even mean you carry hate for that person or people or whoever. It doesn't even mean you carry hate because you've developed too much love. You've had too much of a dope relationship with. But then it's like, well, how are you gonna do me? How are you gonna do me wrong? You don't never do me wrong. And I'm not just talking about me. Obviously, I'm talking about me personally. But I'm not even just talking about me like me, Anthony Wilder. I'm talking about in general. back to my original soliloquy, to point of this whole thing. You don't ever do wrong those that have done you right, have done nothing but right by you, regardless of where they're at. You don't ever do them wrong. Everybody you see on the way up is the same people you see on the way down. And there are too many situations where the people that you see on the way up and you detangle yourselves from the real ones, thinking that you're going a certain place, and then you start to see them people on the way down, and now you want to reach out, and because they're dope, and you want to reach out, or you want some sort of, whatever, based on the actions that you've done. That is the bullshit. Because you didn't have to do that at all. All you had to do was just be straight up. All you had to do was keep it a buck with whatever was going on. Hey man, listen, this is my situation right now. You know what I mean? I don't really have the time. I'm in a whole different bracket. Whatever it is, something happened to the stuff that I had and I didn't want to tell you. Whatever it is, I need more compensation for my time. Whatever that is, I ain't never been nothing but righteous. I ain't never been nothing but solid. I ain't never been nothing but available for any kind of conversation. And I've never tried to take advantage of the integrity of our relationship at all. I'm the easiest person to talk to. Hey man, this is what's up. This is my situation right now. All right, well, let's talk about it. Maybe I can do it, maybe I can't. I don't know. Let's holler about it though. I'm owed at least that much. You got to do people like that, because when you want it back in the same situation, you want that same thing back. The irony of it is the last time I was around this person in person, when we were working together, there was a situation where I thought I had something needed for the session we were in, and I didn't. And I had to call a good one of the dope people to get something. Shout out to Harvey. Nightlife, my man. Shout out to Nightlife. I had to reach out to Nightlife to get some vocals that I thought I had, and they didn't. The vocals I had been corrupted or some type of way. It didn't work. And major love for Harvey. Harvey's super dope artist. Nightlife, look him up. He got dope shit, all the things. Fucked up out here. You know what I mean? Don't take all this coolness for weakness. It's kind of my point to this whole motherfucking thing. Excuse my language, but he gonna try and look, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Don't fuck with the God. I'm in God mode. Don't fuck with the God. Excuse my language, but just saying. So anyway, had to reach out to Harvey. Luckily, through a whole thing. Harvey was like, man, that was like 2-3 computers ago. Let me look, let me see, and all this kind of stuff. And by the grace of God, Harvey was able to recover that shit and sent it to me immediately. And I was like, dude, I don't have the words to express the thank yous. Let me know what you need, man. Next time in SAC, I'll take you out to a steak dinner or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, Harvey will tell you, you know what I'm saying? If you watching this, Harvey, that's exactly what I said. I'll take you out to a steak dinner, whatever it is you need. You feel me? Like, thank you, good looking. Harvey was just on to like, man, it's all good, man. That's love. What you mean? You know what I mean? I had it, man, that's love. And the irony of it is when I got off of that call, I told the main character in this scenario, I ain't gonna say no names, I still got love for the cat, but I told the main character in this scenario, I said, because again, these type of situations, I'm always trying to give a little game. And I said, this is a perfect example. This is the irony of it. Just as it's coming to me now. I said, this is the perfect example of why you do right by those. This is the perfect example of why you always do right by people. Because if I was some type of shady cat, or I always had some shit going, or I was the person associated with mess or all that kind of stuff, Harvey wouldn't have did all that, and I wouldn't have blamed him. He wouldn't have did all that. He wouldn't have looked and went all through his old computer and old files to find that for me. But because the cat is solid, You know what I'm saying? And because I'm always cool people, because Harvey's cool people recognize cool people, real recognize real. And I told my guy, I was like, this is why you always do right by people. Because you never know. And when you never know what situation is going to call for when you need them or when you need something. And as a result of me doing right by Cat, he went the extra mile to hook me up for nothing in return, even though I solicited something in return, like what you need, just for my token of appreciation for what you did. And that irony of that is that even through that situation that he witnessed and us having this direct conversation, still turned around and did the same thing to me on the other end of that. On the other end of that, didn't do right by me. And I ain't asking for nothing. I ain't asking for anything other than what's mine. Really? You know what I mean? I'm asking for what's mine. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't even that serious. It's just like, yo, what's up? Let's get it done. You too busy? You moving on to bigger and better things? Dude, nobody champions you more. No one champions you more. Please, salute. Man, you deserve it. You've been out here grinding. Go get that. Let me get mine, and let me figure out something else, and whenever you want to come back, let me know. Same kind of thing I was just talking about with Elok. You know what I'm saying? Elok just moved on. Life has changed. All right, I get it, my brother. I got really good at producing because people like you weren't available no more. All right, cool. It's cool. I'll find something else. I've increased my network of people I can work with and stuff like that. But anytime you want to come back in, man, that's how much I respect your talent. That's how much I got love for you. Let me know. Same type of situation. Still didn't get the same love. The irony of it. And you never know when you're going to need these people, man. You never know when you're going to need the good ones. You never alienate. You never alienate the good ones, man. And again, I'm talking about me. Because, nigga, I'm one of the ones. But this ain't even about me. Although it is in this scenario. But I'm just saying bigger. And this is just a message I just want to, if this is landing for anybody, just let it land. You know what I'm saying? If this is landing for anybody, I got to keep turning around because the sun's setting more and I got to make sure I highlight it. Man, I'm out here looking cute, looking like Big Chuck out in this thing. You feel me? Out here looking like Big Chuck out in this thing. You heard? But never do wrong by those that done nothing but right by you, man. That's not gonna, you ain't gonna get no blessings. I mean, I don't want to say you ain't gonna get no blessings. What I am gonna say is you're not putting yourself in the most favorable position when it comes to blessings at certain times. If you wonder why you always kind of running in a hamster wheel, it's because the universe is paying attention. God's paying attention. Karma. You know how I discard karma? Karma is God's hollow point. Like when he really want to get busy, he shoots karma at a motherfucker. He like, oh nigga, you out here tripping. And this is my time. So you know God, what certain people say? We make plans, God laughs. Yeah. You know. And again, this isn't me posing God. Like, oh, because you did wrong, you know, I'm about to pose God and God gonna do wrong by you. No, I'm telling you from experience, which is why I've always tried to give game. You know what I'm saying? As righteous as I've been, I don't owe nobody no money out in these streets. I ain't the richest cat in the world. People can say what they want. Oh man, you this age, you still out here doing this, X, Y, Z. You can say what you want. You can criticize me all you want. I don't owe nobody no bread. I ain't never trying to F on none of y'all breezies. You know what I mean? I ain't never been backstabby. I've never talked behind you, behind your back. All that shit's happened to me. I ain't never did that shit to none of these motherfuckers. I ain't never tried to fuck on your girl. I ain't never, you know what I mean? I don't owe nobody no money. You know what I'm saying? Including my closest family, who I would be able to owe money. I don't even owe them no money no more. I don't owe nobody no money. I ain't got nothing but a solid name in these streets. You know what I mean? That was one of the best things Shout out to Albert Jose Navarro. AJ, y'all know him as. But I remember when the great Chuck, when it was time for Chuck to go. And we had a conversation because he had hollered at me. And that was one of the things he pointed out. He was like, he ain't the only one, everybody did. But certain times you have certain conversations that hit you in a certain way. And I told AJ this. How many times have I told you this, AJ? Like, that conversation was like, man, you have no idea how that moved me, because that was one of the things he said. He's like, man, at the end of the day, Pops was solid. He always did everybody right. He always had a good name out here. And he was like, and you've done the same thing. You've lived exactly in Pops, you represent Pops' memory really well, because you've moved the exact same way. I got motorcycles and shit going behind me and shit. Don't y'all see that I'm on here trying to talk, you motherfuckers? And that's why. You know what I'm saying? Because you see how that works. And as righteous as I've been, we've all made mistakes, right? We've all made mistakes in life. We've all made mistakes on how we've done things, not intentionally, even with dealing with females, could have did a couple things better, just in certain situations, right? Even if it wasn't ill intent, even in them situations. When the time came, what did God do? Sorry, you one of my sons. I love you and I know you're righteous, but I gotta keep it even. Pop! Aim that karma at a nigga. Oh, damn. So when I done got fucked up in certain situations, in these relationship streets, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, I didn't mean it, and this and that and the third, and nah. That's why I don't play around no more. Hey, listen, you get your ass kicked one good couple times, you be like, all right, nigga, I ain't fucking around. I've always been righteous. I'm gonna even be more righteous now. Listen, I'm telling all these motherfuckers the truth. I've always been a pretty truthful cat. You know what I'm saying? Especially even with dealing with girls, straight up cat. But even after a couple situations, dealing with these lovely women out here, I've been like, nigga, I'm telling these girls the truth. I don't want no problems. I'm sorry. I'll take the short-term discomfort as opposed to the long-term. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the short-term discomfort. Hey, man, listen, I did this. I kind of got caught up. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You mad? You don't want to deal with me? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I love you. I appreciate you. You're phenomenal. Oh, I'm just using examples, hypotheticals. But what I'm saying is I was way more willing to take that route as opposed to get in here and deceive and do all this other kind of shit, not tell. Nah, man. And that's my point. Because I didn't want to deal with that. And all the things that I've tried to give game on is to avoid that. Because it is fucked up when you get your ass whooped by karma. It's fucked up. You know what I mean? And how you move determines what you get back. If you always find yourself in certain situations, even if you're a cool dude or female, it's because you ain't paying attention to the things that cost you less up front, that are gonna cost you way more on the back end. You don't think it's gonna cost you. You don't think it's gonna cost you. There was a certain conversation we had, with this entity. And there was a situation, I'm not gonna even go into personals on that, but there was just a situation, and, when me and this person were on the phone, somebody else had called from the past, and, it was a click and got, a click and a block for that person that had called from the past, from a past situation that hadn't been owed yet. And I was gonna ask a question regarding that as we were talking, but then the tone made it seem like I was going in a different direction. So I just told him, I said, hey, look, nope, I ain't going, I was only gonna ask a question like, yo, is it worth kind of what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you owe this person, I know it's just like, well, fuck it, he's just gonna have to eat that. But really, you eating that, right? Because that's gonna come back on you. You feel me? And these are always the games I've tried to give based on this. And then here we are. You know what I'm saying? Here we are. Now I'm on the end of that for some shit that yeah, you owe me, but it's not even like, I'll even compensate you for your time to get the things I need for us to not even have to deal with each other anymore. And even that, I got blocked from that. And like I said, that fucked me up. If this was just some old person that was just kind of like a random person and or a person that I kind of looked at over kind of knowing, like, over the last 3 or 4 years, and I'm like, this is a mark motherfucker, that would be different. You would kind of see that coming in the way. Well, I'm going to have to turn around. Oh, there we go. Let's illuminate this chuckness, this beautiful dark shit. I'm over here getting all black. I mean, I'm black. I love the black. But I still want y'all to be able to see me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody from the neighborhood, shut up. I know y'all got all kind of dark jokes. Shut your mouth. But you just don't do those wrong that ain't done nothing but try to be right. It's the best way I can put it. Don't do those wrong who ain't done nothing but try and be right. That's it. That's it. You always need righteousness in your corner. It doesn't matter what walk of life you're in. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter where the world takes you. You need righteousness in your life, period. And you need the righteous vibes in your life. And you don't ever want to be putting yourself in a situation where you have to fight off these demons. And you be putting yourself where you have to fight off these demons. You know what I'm saying? And it's not worth it. Be righteous. Be upfront. Be confrontational. So many of these young motherfuckers are so unconfrontational now. And I'm not even talking about confrontational like it's a problem. I'm talking about confrontational like holla about whatever the situation is. Everybody's behind phones. Everybody's behind text. Nobody wants to answer the phone and just have a conversation. It's the simplest shit in the world. It's so much simpler than avoiding somebody and leaving them with the burden of having to come to their own conclusions when you know this person. You know this person, right? So had I known, do you think I would have poured into the relationship, both professionally and personally, we've had over the last 4 years? Had I known this was going to be the ultimate outcome? Are you kidding me? The fuck? Who do you think I am? Like I said, nigga, I'm righteous around here. And because I'm cool, like, don't take this for weakness. Like, nigga, you think I would have been out here fucking? Nigga, you know I wouldn't have been. There's not a person I brought around you or introduced you to or have bought to anything that we have done that hasn't been righteous. I'm not saying they would have been your best friends or in your circles, but everybody I've bought has been straight up, good vibes, righteousness. I ain't bought nobody because nigga, I ain't with nobody that's on none of that. Are you kidding me? So, like the beginning of the clip says, that's some bitch ass shit. And I ain't saying, I'm not calling you or doing anything saying about you being a bitch ass. That's not what I'm saying. But you are wearing a bitch ass uniform in this sense. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm just being 100. And I'm just being funny. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful or anything. I'm just saying, don't do right by those who've done nothing but right by you. I mean, don't do wrong by those who've done nothing but right by you. It does not end well. Just in the vibrations of life. It doesn't end well. Does not end well. So if y'all could take anything from this, again, this is about me specifically. This is about a specific entity, a specific party, a specific person. I'm trying to be vague because I'm the dope ass nigga I am, and I don't want to be messy out here and be naming no names. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if this person ever sees this, He knows exactly who I'm talking. He knows I'm talking directly to him. But I'm also being very vague on purpose. Because even through all this shit, even though you've shown me no respect through all this process, I still got that respect for you. I still got love for you. I still root for you. But fuck all that bullshit. Fuck all that bullshit. Holla at your boy like a motherfucking man. Tell me what the motherfucking deal is. Tell me what's happening. Don't be hiding behind no shit and then block a nigga that's done nothing but right by you. What in your head, when it's you and yourself, you can tell anybody around you what you want to. Oh, this nigga be tripping, man. He was blowing me up. You can tell anybody that what you want to. Between you, yourself, and you, when you sit there and you brush your teeth or you laying in bed at night and you think about the fucking state of the relationship that we have that you created, what possibly can you realistically say in your mind is the reason you decided to fucking block me? What's the realistic reason? What wrong have I ever done you in any type of way to make you feel justified in the fact that you blocked me based on some scenario your ass created? Where they do that at? Don't do wrong by those who've done nothing but right by you. This is the message I got for today. Today is July 3rd, 2026. Today is the great, late Kala Washington's birthday. Rest in peace, my brother. Rest in peace. Rest in paradise. Man, I wish you were here. I need people like you. I need people like my nephew. I need all the people that exist now that I'm able to call upon. I need all of you guys around. Because the real ones is getting limited out here, man. You think somebody real and that shit just, the real ones is getting limited out here, man. So hold on to the real ones, man. Keep them close. Be thankful for them. Check on your strong people. Check on your strong friends. Right? Be prayerful. Be mindful. Be righteous. It's gangster to be righteous. It's not gangster to be no shiesty motherfucker. It's gangster to be righteous out here. Because it's so easy to be shiesty. It's so easy to be foul. Especially in this regime that we're under right now in this country. It's gangster to be righteous. Right or wrong. It's gangster to be righteous. Don't do those wrong who've done nothing but right by you. Period.